Crucial 13, you are appreciated. Shout out to you.
Get crucial.
I'm hungry. I need some bacon.
Look at this. Look at it. This is the city I'm in right now.
There is something dark about the store. It's not because it's black. There's just a weird vibe there. A lot of comics, even though we're having an upswing, there's this girl who she has I'm not gonna name her name because I don't want to get in trouble, but she has a Netflix special, but she doesn't play the store. And I was at the Laugh Factory and I saw her perform, and she got off stage. I was right after her, and I never met her before. She's very funny, and I said, "You're very funny," and she goes like this. She goes, and she just walks away from me, right? Which is rude, right? So in my head, I'm thinking maybe it's in my head, and then check it out. The next week, I'm at the Improv, and she's sitting there because she's about to go up. I sit next to her. She walks up and walks away. So I did some investigating, and I go, this girl, you know, she avoids me. I've never met her before. I never talked shit behind her back. And a bunch of comics were saying, oh yeah, anyone that works at the Comedy Store, she won't even talk to. I go, why? Because she believes that we're all like kind of like demons, and that we're all like a part of this weird comedy cult, that we're dark. We have dark energy.
Okay, so for the past few years, a lot of people have been speculating on who that female comedian is that Bobby Lee is talking about.
Comics with names didn't even want to come here. They thought it was a dark energy here. The 80s boom had ended, and there was this unbelievably toxic, negative vibe. The night that I was here, I did not feel welcome, and I was surprised by that.
A lot of comics hated this place.
Business was bad, and it's like the comics were running the club. Nobody even knew who was really running the Comedy Store.
Comedians like Bobby Lee in the past say that they've had issues there. People won't even work with them just based on the fact that he's worked there for so long.
Really?
Obviously, I don't know too much about that, but he's talked about that in other podcasts and stuff where
it's haunted.
Yeah, where he says it's very haunted and people don't want to work with him because he works there.
Really?
It's everybody that works there.
That might be an excuse for why they don't want to work with Bobby. Bobby,
that could be it.
Bobby, it might be you. I've never heard anybody say that before. I can't work with you because you work at that haunted place. They
just don't want to be around that stuff.
There was this girl who she has I'm not gonna name her name, and I said, you're very funny, and she goes like this. She goes, and she just walks away from me. A bunch of comics were saying, oh, they believes that we're all kind of like demons, and that we're all a part of this weird comedy cult, that we're dark. We have dark energy.
The best thing they could have is their friend who's a comedian next to them, just making them laugh.
Right.
And I was like, what? So it's taken me a long time to not decide that someone is rejecting me.
Sure.
And then be like, well, fine, I'll just, and which is my shit of just trying to not get hurt. Not get hurt.
I mean, I did that my whole career starting out as a stand-up, going to the comedy clubs.
Yeah.
That's why you never saw me there. I didn't hang out at the Comedy Store. I didn't hang out at the Improv. I didn't hang out at any of the clubs because
you had a good childhood. We get it. Your parents loved you. We got it.
I would project onto everyone that they didn't like me because I blew up so fast.
Also, by the way, I'm not saying that's true, but that's also not always untrue.
Yeah.
Even though it's obviously jealousy, insecure people are dangerous, and we're a very insecure sort of group. And you also seem very self-contained. And this is also something I'd love to talk about because, you're, you have a very strong connection to your religion. And there's you don't come off like you need people's approval, and that's a little bit annoying to a comedian or to insecure people because we want to go, how can I put my hooks in you? Back then, I was really only in relationships with people that I could rescue or fix because I thought that was a thing, and I only could have self-esteem through being needed.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't think anyone that was self-contained and had their internal needs met would want to be, what
do they need from me then?
What do they, how am I going to keep them?
Yeah.
Now I'm going to get abandoned. So I need someone that's like, gets addicted to my help or that I stick my, it has to be codependent and entrenched or else they can leave at any time.
Yeah.
And you were kind of like too healthy. There's no like in, but can you talk a little bit about like, have you always had a strong relationship with Christianity? And did that help you through, like what helped you get to a point to this?
I'm so grateful for my years of being super devoted Christian, committed to the plan that I had for myself. I'm grateful for those years, and I'll talk about that. And but also where I'm at now is definitely an evolved version of myself in my 20s, who still loves God, who still says in Jesus' name, amen. Yeah. But now also says, thank you, divine. Thank you, love. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I feel like I have gone through probably the past 5 years a deconstruction of my Christianity that I held on so tightly in my early 20s for sure. And I think the fact that I held on to that probably saved me from a lot of complications and heartbreaks that I would have got myself into, bad decisions I would have made. And at the same time, because of that, I made some decisions that I feel like robbed me of certain things, like saying no to certain like movies that I thought was like, oh, as a Christian, I probably shouldn't do this because it had like one dick joke in it. And I was like, oh, that's probably, I shouldn't do that. And then the movie comes out and it's actually not that at all. And I just said no because I was trying to be super Christian.
Anjelah Johnson, who I feel may be the funniest female comic today, as of right now. You know, she's very spiritual and throughout her career was very religious, a Christian. Now she says that, you know, she's evolved spiritually and, you know, is a follower of Christ, but, you know, is more like out of the indoctrination of religion and is just more into the spiritual, you know, realms. And, you know, lately she's been doing a lot of podcasts with the big comedians from the Comedy Store and all that. Hopefully she isn't, you know, gradually coming into this oneness idea, which is a perverted spiritual belief that, you know, everybody is one, meaning that, you know, we are one, but meaning that righteousness has to exist with lawlessness because, you know, it's a perverted way of saying as above, so below, which they perverted to mean that, you know, the righteous can, you know, has to be with the lawless. They can't exist without each other. When really as above, so below means whatever is going on the inside will show on the outside. You know, a lot of people pervert that saying as if to say, you know, right and wrong have to exist together. And hopefully she isn't coming into that because, well, she's hanging out with a lot of these people who were growing up in the Comedy Store under a lot of wickedness and all that. So, you know, I congratulate her for her religion and spirituality, keeping her away from that type of stuff. You know, she's heavily religious, so I can completely see her being like, you know what, you guys are demonic, not coming around you. And I mean, Whitney Cummings is involved with a lot of, you know, can't really speak about it too much on here, but I did a video of her and David Spade where they're kind of like speaking in code to each other about this child trafficking bust or this stuff going on with the children in Hollywood, you know, and all this type of stuff. We know about the blood rituals that they do with the children and all this. Is all entertainment right here. None of this is fact. This is all entertainment. This is a horror documentary. It's all satire. I don't know what the fuck it is. But check this out real quick.
Because I was so addicted to adrenaline and dramas. Because I was so addicted to adrenaline and...
Like every time Bert falls down, he sells out the Smoothie King Arena. Like I don't... He just goes into his hot tub and gets 2 million views. I can't go in a hot tub. It causes wrinkles and a lot of good babies died for this. And a lot of good babies died for this. And a lot of good babies died for this.
Whoa. Now that is what I call it's all entertainment. Now, my fellow skeptics would tell me that there is no such thing as some children serum that keep these Hollywood actresses looking young. They would tell me there is no such thing as, in the movies that, a lot of witches in movies, they get blood of the innocent children. And so they can look young and shit. Snow White did it. Hey, this is all entertainment. None of this is true. Nothing in this video is fact. Okay, Whitney Cummings is a liar. The only way I can suggest that her face stays so smooth is that she pulls her whole face back like this by her ponytail every morning. Nobody can tell me otherwise, okay? I don't care what she just said. She's a liar. Nowadays, people can tell you straight up what they do, and I won't believe it. Okay? It's how I rock.
I would project that onto people, but then also that would keep me from making relationships, like actual friends. And I remember I would watch you, and you'd be up at the club all the time, and Eliza would be up at the club all the time, and I'd be like, oh, I wish I could just do that. And every time I had a set at the Improv or wherever, and it was like, okay, Wednesday, sure. I was thinking about it for 3 days until I got there, and it was diarrhea the whole time I was there. I'm like, okay, let me know when it's my turn.
That's really why people didn't talk to you.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Gas, just all the things. I was so nervous, had so much anxiety, and I was like, oh my God, this is not worth it. And I remember telling my manager at the time, should I be forcing myself to go hang out at the clubs and make relationships? And he was like, no, why? They're wanting where you're at right now, so just go be where you're at right now. Yeah. And I was like,
but then the irony is you want to be one of them.
Yes. And I was like, but I like community though. But I want peers. I want to be chummy with people. And then I remember watching the documentary, the Comedy Store documentary, and I remember feeling so sad that I let my, oh God, I'm getting emotional. Sorry about that. God. That I let my anxiety win for all of those years. And I robbed myself of making relationships with people, because at the end of the day, that's what it's about, is relationships, not our careers and what are you doing, what are you booking, but it's relationship. And I remember seeing that in the documentary, the community and people bonding and things like that. And I was like, oh man, I robbed myself of that because I let my anxiety win for all those years.
I went the other way. Whereas, when I'm the first person to say, I'm so grateful for all the people that hurt me. You made me stronger. All the people that hazed me, all the people that emotionally abused me, even down to physical abuse. I'm at the point where I'm like, I am invincible, and
Thank you.
You hurting me, because I know hurt people, and I know that if you hurt me, something terrible happened to you, if you're sadistic like that, or you're mentally ill, or a sociopath, or something I can defend anyone that did damage to me now, as 39 years old. But at the time, it was a very dangerous place for me, and I forced myself to go, and I shouldn't have. I think we both went to extreme ways. I was like, I am going to fucking show you that I can take all this abuse. Yeah. I can, and it was really unhealthy for me, because a comedy club, which no criticism, comedians have, I don't want to say all comedians are crazy or sick or whatever, but, we obviously crave validation from drunk strangers and destroy our lives to chase that and self-harm and self-flagellate in a lot of ways. And that often comes out in a way that we don't always play well with others, and we hurt other people. And sometimes we think we're play fighting, but it's not. Some of us are masochists and sadistic, whatever it was, that group of people at that time and the type of people that were attracted to that hallway were really dangerous for me and gave me really bad data. It definitely stunted a lot of my growth and made me hold on to a lot of old stories that I needed to be debunking. I probably needed to be doing more what you were doing and hanging out with your friends were getting married and seeing what was possible. Yeah. But it was, to me, because of growing up in an alcoholic home with so much pugnacious behavior, confrontational behavior, scandalous behavior. There were always fights breaking out. There was always someone getting hurt, someone getting shot. I mean, it was I crave that because that's what my evenings were like when I was a kid. That's my comfort zone is like, it's midnight. Like
it's too quiet. I don't feel good.
Yeah. Because I was so addicted to adrenaline and drama. So had you felt comfortable there, your parents would have to hit your Venmo, you know. So the kind of people that felt comfortable there, not judging them, it's just we felt calm in crisis, chaos.
Calm in chaos, yeah.
Yeah. And the kind of people that would go there and go, don't feel comfortable. I'm like, stick to that instinct, you know, because I think that I thought that I had to endure a lot of emotional pain, discomfort, physical pain. I mean, I would stay till 2 a.m. just to prove that I wasn't a girl. Like I can hang with the guys. Like I'm sleeping 4 hours because I have to work other jobs to make money, you know, and it was masochistic on my part because I was trying so hard to neuter myself and show guys that I could hang or just be around guys and not ever date them. So everyone knew, like, I don't date comics. Like, I'm one of you. And, you know, and at the time, the way that the Comedy Store was set up was kind of toxic, which is that, you know, one of the managers, you had to show your loyalty to that place. And you had to have no life. So I didn't get to date. I didn't get to have girlfriends. I didn't get to have friends. I just was like going like, I'm not fucking going anywhere. And I'm going to, and that's how you like earn some respect, but it's a sick kind of like, it's like unnecessary, like Hell Week Navy SEAL shit where it's just like, this is just like hazing and, you know, but it also, you know, I rob myself of girlfriendships. I rob myself of like traveling, you know, so, like all that stuff. But I'm like, I feel like we're just getting good. So, because it's also so weird to hear someone else's side because I just saw you as like so focused and so together and so like, yeah, I don't need to deal with that. I'm doing this. And we would talk about you because we'd be like, does she just work out new stuff like on the road? Like, how does she do that?
That's funny. I've always wondered, like, I wonder what people think about me. But yeah, that's what I would do. I would just write my jokes on the road.
I don't have the bravery to do that.
I didn't want to go to
I have to go try it 50 times at a fucking sushi restaurant in Santa Monica at some open mic before I'll do it because I'm insecure. So we're always just going like, damn, she's secure. Like, she likes herself. That's what we're all trying to be like.
Thank you.
You know? So it's just,
I feel a lot better about my choices.
Also,
Thank you.
Yeah. Also, and the other thing is like, yes, I mean, having dealt with so much negativity from my own comedy community and having it really break my heart, you know, it's like comedians are professional complainers. Like if you weren't successful, they'd have a problem with you.
So now that you hear Whitney Cummings pretty much, you know, admitting that they were some chaotic, low vibrational, demonic sons of bitches at that Comedy Store. Okay, this is all satire. This is all, nothing here in this video should be taken serious. This is all entertainment. Okay, but now we're gonna show you where Anjelah Johnson and Bobby Lee actually ran into each other. Check it out.
And they got me pressing all these crazy buttons. No, you can have a coat. Let me get number 6 with a large coat. Next.
Hi, I'll have a number 3 with no cheese, no tomato, and no lettuce.
Dang, anything else? I got a complicated order. Let me get number 3 with no cheese, no tomato.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry.
Excuse me, sir. You see me trying to put in my order? Don't interrupt. Rude. And no lettuce, that's it. What?
I changed my mind about the cheese.
Oh, now you want some cheese?
Yes.
Now you want some cheese? You see me put in the order while you didn't say nothing in the first place.
I tried to, but...
No, sir, don't get loud with me, sir. Do not get loud with me. Oh, no. Security.
Not getting loud.
Security. This dude needs to go. He needs to go. Needs to go. Thank you.
Quick, please.
We have a good show tonight, you guys. We are finishing our Haunted Comedy Club series where we have interviewed the GMs of comedy clubs across the country that have experienced hauntings. And I'm going to tell you right now, every club is haunted. Every venue is haunted that you go to. So I wanted to bring people to Ghost Stories with Anjelah and share the haunting stories of these comedy clubs. But yeah, so I've gone through a whole journey. But during that time, starting out in stand-up, I was definitely super devoted, super into my prayer time, my devotional time, my staying connected with my community to make sure like I'm staying on top of things.
But this is mental health, whether it's whatever your religion, everyone's got their religion, whether it's even the people are like, I don't believe in God. I'm like, but you go to Barry's boot camp every single morning. You have a religion. And you have a God. His name is Barry.
You have a ritual. You have
a
something.
ritual. It does the same thing. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, because, religion over time has been, justified to do incorrigible things and start wars, but everyone's got their religion.
Sure. Growing up and in my 20s, I definitely had the Christian route. This is how you pray. These are the words that you say when you go to church. There's tithe and offering, and then there's praise and worship, and then there's all the things. Like, this is how...
There's wine at church.
This is how you worship God.
Yeah.
Like, this is how you do it.
Yeah.
And that was the only way to do it. And now I'm at a place where it kind of like what you're saying, like I'll wake up in the morning and I'll do like my yoga stretches, my energy medicine, and I'm doing all my tapping and like all the things, and I'm praying and I'm just like, yes, God.
What's the tapping?
So like, like learning about energy.
Tap dancing?
Having learned about energy medicine.
Yeah.
And learning about just frequencies and all of those things.
I stand in the dirt and to get the grounding and the electricity. But you're talking to the right bitch.
Yes.
This is not,
but that's what I'm saying.
This doesn't sound crazy enough to me yet.
I wasn't this girl though.
Yeah.
Like I was the girl that was like, oh, that's crazy. Like just talk to Jesus. That's all you need to do.
Yeah.
But now I have such a connection with Mother Earth that I do enjoy going out into
Jesus
my backyard.
was barefoot to get the electricity
Come
from
on.
He was grounding.
He was. So that's kind of where I'm at now.
Okay, so while I do think it is a great thing to start learning about frequencies, vibrations, and nature and all this, God created all of this, so you have to master this type of stuff. I also do know that the witches, the warlocks, the demonic, evil people on the planet also practice this type of stuff because they're over here harvesting energy off the planet. This is what I call low vibrational energy vampires, which here, they master all that type of stuff on this planet. Then they give you these religions that actually don't believe in any of that type of stuff, so you never gain your power. So you are actually an available energy source for them because you never raised your vibration above theirs, because, us with a higher vibration actually destroys lower frequencies and vibrations. So any energy vampire that tries to get you, if you got a high vibration, they wouldn't be able to even mess with you. Okay? So it's in their best interest to keep our frequencies and vibrations low by the food, the poisons, the toxins, the drugs, the drinks that they put into society, which keeps your frequency low enough for them to harvest you. You dumbass. So yeah, salute to Anjelah Johnson, which I think she has pure intentions and all that. Salute to Whitney Cummings, though I'm not sure if that face joke was real or not, because while Anjelah Johnson may be raising her frequency for the most high, we got other people out here that's raising their frequency with the blood of the innocent.
Crucial 13, you all appreciated. Shout out to you.
Get crucial.
I'm hungry. I need some bacon.
Look at this. Look at it. This is the city I'm in right now.